Hi everyone, a warm welcome to Mohana Astrology, and today's discussion is about Saturn's position in the fifth house of your birth chart. Here I'm going to discuss about Saturn's position in the fifth house only. I'm not considering if Saturn is conjunct with any other planet or if any other planet is aspecting this Saturn. Now in Vedic astrology, it's always desirable, it's recommended that you go step by step, first understand what happens in the fifth house and then consider the other parameters which can influence this planet. Now, what is fifth house? Your fifth house is the house of your intelligence. It's your mental acumen. It's the house of your children. It's the house of your speculative investments. It's also the house for your romance. Fifth house actually signifies unconditional love. It's the devotion. Now, Saturn is a planet which is cold. Saturn is a planet which is detached, has nothing to do with love whatsoever. And Saturn is a planet which signifies restriction, discipline, responsibility, duty in our lives. It's the planet for karma. It's the planet for karma yoga, which means you do your duties but don't expect anything in return. Saturn is the taskmaster. So what happens when Saturn with these kind of qualities sit in the house which signifies your devotion, your children, your love life, and also your intelligence? Let's find out. Now, if the fifth house of your birth chart is Saturn's own sign, that's Capricorn and Aquarius, or Saturn's exalted sign, that's Libra, which means if you have ascendant as Virgo, Libra, or Gemini, it shows that you have come with a lot of past life good deeds in this lifetime. Now, for other ascendants, we need to see what sign falls in the fifth house of your chart, whether this sign is, Saturn's enemy sign or Saturn's friendly sign. Depending on that, the result will change. Say, for example, Leo ascendant. For Leo ascendant, Saturn is an inimical planet. It's the Lagna's enemy. So when Saturn sits in the fifth house of a Leo ascendant, it shows that there may be some kind of delay in childbirth, or since it's also the lord of your sixth house sitting in the fifth house, it can show that there can be health issues to the children. And it can also show that, there will be some obstacles, there will be some dryness in your love relations, and a lot of responsibility, sense of responsibility will be there in the relationships. It's not the fun kind of relationship that you will be having. But as far as the intelligence is concerned, as far as your studies are concerned, okay, I forgot to mention that fifth house is also your education, your studies. So as far as these education and intelligence and mental acumen are concerned, Saturn here is going to give you some structure. Saturn is going to give you a different kind of ability to build on your intelligence and utilize that in your karma later on in your life. So what are the general good effects of Saturn in the fifth house for a birth chart? Saturn here can make you highly intelligent and knowledgeable scholar. In studies, Saturn in the fifth house can give technical, scientific, or engineering education. Money-wise, you will be quite fortunate, but fortune will come after hard work, because Saturn doesn't give anything without working hard, without perseverance. Saturn here can give you a pleasant personality, a long life, and a disciplined approach towards religious activities like mantra sadhana, etc. because fifth house is also the house for spiritual practices. You may be creative, but since Saturn is not particularly the planet for creativity, it puts some boundaries or delay in expressing your creative side freely. Now, children with fifth house Saturn are often seen building things with, things like mechanosets or Lego blocks. Now, with this Saturn, you will love entertainment, but maybe the serious kind or the classical type of entertainment. Instead of light soaps on TV, you will enjoy watching classics. Saturn in the fifth house can give you good children. In some cases, it is seen that one's own biological child is born after first adopting a child. Now, there are other combinations for that as well that has to be substantiated before we come to a conclusion. Now, Saturn sitting here can also delay your child's arrival. In love, Saturn here gives a sense of responsibility. You will be a protective and responsible romantic partner. Romance is not a light-hearted matter for you. Profession-wise, you may be working in the fields related to market analysis, finance, banking, insurance, or with the local governing bodies. This position can hinder or delay professional progress if you are in creative fields. It doesn't mean that you won't be successful in these fields, but it will come after a lot of struggle and after spending a lot of effort and time. Here we need to remember that we are discussing about Saturn, so none of these, whatever I mentioned earlier, will come easily or without some collateral damage, because Saturn's aspects will also give results. And the aspects are always malefic. So before I discuss about the aspects, let us find out what happens if Saturn is an enemy of your ascendant or not placed in a favorable sign. In that case, you will not be able to experience these results. At least some of these will be quite adverse. Normally, when adverse results come, it affects the living significations the most. Now, going by that, an ill-placed Saturn in the fifth house is likely to create more adverse results for children, delay in getting a child, as I mentioned earlier, and for love relations, than for your intelligence or artistic creativity or name and fame. What I have found is that the intelligence is not harmed, but the thoughts take the color of a negative Saturn. Now, people tend to procrastinate as well. Saturn here can give struggles to get prosperity in life. People with unfavorable Saturn in the fifth house should stay away from speculative investments. One more thing is very widely seen, and that is Saturn here can create delay or obstruction in studies, be it by dropping out of college or having a gap year in studies for whatever reasons. It can also give stomach-related troubles and mental anxiety. Now coming to the aspects of Saturn. When Saturn sits in the fifth house, he aspects the seventh house, the 11th house, and the second house of the chart. When we are considering the aspect of the Saturn, his aspects will do its regular job of bringing restrictions, obstructions, and responsibilities wherever they fall. The intensity may differ a little bit depending on the sign of those houses. If it's falling in his own sign, the intensity will be slightly less. When Saturn is aspecting the seventh house, it shows difficulties in marriage, and also in business partnerships. Marriage may be delayed as well. There may be some troubles in journeys. Travel may not bring the desired results. It means that you are maybe you got a job and then you are going there to settle down, but with Saturn's aspect on the 7th house, it may not fructify the way you imagined. Now, with a malefic Saturn, it becomes difficult to choose the right path of life, because 7th house is the path of life. So Saturn can really confuse or restrict your views in choosing the right path. With Saturn's aspect on your 11th house, there can be impacts on your earnings and gains. You need to work harder to prosper in life. Gain from speculative investments may not yield desired profits and can also give loss. You may not have elder siblings, which in other way can mean that you are the eldest, or even if you have one, the relationship may not be very cordial. It is also found that the friend circle is not really very helpful to you. With Saturn's aspect falls on your 2nd house, your family becomes your responsibility. Whether you will willingly take those responsibilities or not will depend on the sign of the 2nd house. If it's a favorable sign, you will shoulder the responsibility willingly. 2nd house is also the bank balance, so with Saturn's aspect there, maintaining a healthy bank balance becomes difficult because wealth will go in discharging family responsibilities. The words that you speak may also not be very sweet. So everyone, that's what I had to tell about Saturn in the 5th house. Hope you enjoyed it. If you find that this video is informative, adding value to you, please do like and share this video as well with whoever needs it. I'll see you again with yet another video soon. Till then, may God bless us all. Thank you so much.